Hi everyone, it's Erin at EB Mixed Media. That's EB_Mixed Media on Instagram. And I'm here today working in my craft journal. And I've got a palette over here. This is the color scheme I'm thinking of. I'm really thinking about fall, and I'm kind of thinking a lot about alternative. I've been playing with alternative fall color schemes. So what I have going here is gesso. Obviously, this is just Liquitex acrylic medium gesso. I've got, I'm using a Kraft paints today, Apple Barrel, and this is Golden Sunset. I've got, this one is Apple Barrel as well, it's khaki. And this one is Peachy Pink. And this one is Flamingo Coral. So we'll see how that goes, but I think that's kind of a neat alternative fall palette. So I'm going to start by putting down some papers. I have some here. I have this really cool, interesting piece that I want to use. This is just a stamp on some mixed media paper, and then I distressed it with some distress ink. So I thought it turned out kind of cool. I don't have any great ledger pages right now. So I'm gonna take this. This was gifted to me in some Happy Mail. It's in Spanish, which is kind of cool. And we'll just take a piece of this for starting. And break up the page, right? The empty page. And here's my glue stick. Now you can use matte medium to put this down if you want, or some other kind of glue. I like the glue sticks. I think they're simple, and I think sometimes when I use matte medium, my papers wrinkle so badly that, oops, that's kind of fragile, but that's okay. That I feel like I don't like a lot of the wrinkles, and I don't seem to get that with glue sticks, so maybe I'm just not very good at gluing. This is just some dictionary paper. I actually rescued this from the trash can at work. I don't think people use dictionaries anymore. They just look stuff up online, right? Okay, and now this nice piece. We'll put that in the middle. Do I want to put it down now? Let's put some of these cool pieces. That's a cool piece from Fodder School. I think it was Autumn Moon's class in Fodder School. I don't like straight edges. I like to tear those. I don't want to put it right where I just tried it though, do I? Because I don't want to cover it up entirely. I don't think I do it here. I thought this was kind of matching, but it's a little bold. And I had this piece too, which I thought was kind of cool. Maybe. That's really not the right pink though. Okay, I found just a few more tiny pieces that I like, or I think will work. So, and that's the same pieces down there from the same page. I'll probably end up covering all of that, but we shall see. Okay, let's put this down. And the scribbles on the back. But you can see how white that page was, and I just mucked it up with that distress ink. All right. Okay. Time to get our fingers dirty, huh? I am gonna take a lot of gesso. I want to go really light with this. And I can always make it darker later. And you know what? I'm going to use the palette knife because I want to cover a broader swath. Can you even tell that's pink? Maybe not. Went a little too light, I guess. So we just mix it up over here. This palette paper is copy paper. That's it. Nothing. That's perfect. I need to cut that, don't I? There's nothing at all fancy about my palette paper in any way, shape, or form. Just old copy paper. And then oftentimes I'll use it in a journal spread later. I'll use that palette again. All right, that's pretty good. Let's see if I can go ahead and trim this while this is drying a little bit. There we go. Let's put some of this in, because that sort of matches that paper we had right there. I kind of thought this was a new to me color palette, but looking at those papers that I found in my stash, I guess it's not. It just sort of felt like it maybe was. How do I feel about that? That's pretty bold. All right, we're doing it. Oh, it's not so bold when you get it on the page. These look really pretty together though, I think. I had a question about why I use gesso instead of just white paint. And primarily it's because it's cheaper. It's also, this particular gesso is thinner, less thick. So it seems to spread more, and I feel like it makes my paint go further. And I think it also probably came about because I was a little lazy switching between gesso and paint and back to, and I just had the bottle and right there, and so I probably just started using it as opposed to getting out my white paint. I don't like this. I smudged it and I don't like it. So I'm gonna try to get back some of that nice scrapey feel that you get with the palette knife that you don't get with the fingers. The fingers, you get more of a smudgy, dreamy, blended look, and the palette knife is a little more, what's the words, like looks like scrape marks, and it's a little more rustic, or I guess would be how I would describe it. Now, don't go back and do something you don't like. Okay. How's this going? What do we think so far? This feels unfinished. It feels like it's just sitting there on the page rather than part of the page. I want to blend those papers into the page so it makes sense. See? That makes sense now. Now we have a piece, one piece, as opposed to multiple pieces pasted down. And not pasted down well, as you can see. But let's keep it that nice, because it's a nice texture, so let's keep it. Here's another spot that feels like it needs to connect with the page below and the bottom. All right, I like that. I've got this khaki in here too that I think could be pretty, but it's the distress ink and the yellowed dictionary page is almost functioning as this khaki color that I wanted to incorporate. So yeah, see, it's basically the khaki color. I almost don't need to put any paint down. It's a little bit darker, but that's kind of funny how that worked out. Yeah, you can hardly even tell that I put it down on those pages. So that's kind of interesting. It does give a nice shadow or tonal change maybe to these areas that are so light. A lot of this, folks, is just playing till you see what you like. I feel like that got a little muddy, probably because it's wet. Not probably because it's wet, because it is wet, and I keep going over it. I'm the worst. I'm impatient. Okay, I'm gonna dry this and then come back and fix that. I don't like it. Okay, this is basically dry. Not entirely dry, but basically dry. I'm so impatient. So impatient. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Felt too brown there. All right, I feel like I want to start with some stencils, and I'm trying to decide. I got these at Walmart, and they were cheap, and they were like 2 or 3 sets in a package. I didn't even know Walmart had this kind of stuff. They didn't have it in my town, but I went to like some super Walmart and found it. So I'm debating about the circles. Oh, I'm gonna do the circles, I think. Do I want to do circles? Or do I want to do that? Oh, let's do this one. Okay. Let's do that. That's interesting. So I think I want to mix a little bit darker. Let's move it over there. Come on. That's darker, isn't it? Yeah. And get a little more like tone on tone here. And I'm gonna just, I always put the stencil off the page a little bit so you don't have a gap and then your stencil starting. That can look a little strange. This gives the impression that it's continuing on beyond where the eye can see. Okay, let's try this. I think I got some yellow in there, so that could be interesting. We'll see. This could be too similar a color to what I've already put down. I don't know. You can't hardly tell it's there. Let's get a little bit more. I'm afraid to go too pink. I just don't want it too dark. In the right spot. That's a little darker. And I want to come down a little bit and continue to the bottom, or nearly the bottom of this page. Whoa, that's too bright, I think. That's kind of pretty. Yeah. I went to dry this, and when I came back, I did not turn on the camera. So all I did, though, was outline the stencil pattern in my favorite gold pen, which is a Signo Uniball in gold. You can also get them in white, and the whites work really well. Black, silver, for all I know, they have every color of the rainbow, but this one's my favorite. All right, so I've outlined the stencil. Now, because it's fall, I'm thinking about orange. And I want to get a little bit of orange in, a little more orange than what we've got here. So I have some Distress Oxide, and it's called Marmalade Spiced Marmalade. And I think I'm going to use that with some stamping. And I've got this stamp that's kind of nice. So I guess I'll try it. This makes me nervous though, because I like what's going on. Whenever I get attached to a page, then I get real nervous about adding things. When I don't like a page, it's almost better because I just keep playing, and I'm much braver because I figure it doesn't look good now, so I won't really screw it up anymore. That's kind of neat. It's pretty subtle. I kind of wish I'd gone off the page. There's now a line. Maybe do it this way. And get this corner so it looks like it's supposed to. That's pretty subtle. I wonder if I should have put it on first before I did the stencil. I kind of feel like maybe I should have. I don't know. I think I want to go over the stencil again. Where I stamped on it, because I don't know if I like the stamp on the stencil. This is going to be a bit of a trick. Okay, let's see. That's not dark enough. That's good. I like it okay. I don't love it. Let me fill in where I covered up the gold. I feel like I need some contrast, so I'm gonna do some more stenciling in white this time. And I'm just gonna use my gesso. And this is kind of a, you know, a pattern. I'm gonna be a little more random because I don't want it to look like a pattern. I just want it to look kind of like little circles floating around. Those aren't very dark. I did try a little gold there. I just don't know if that's dumb because there's gold around that stencil too. But I like how the gold looks against the white. So I think I'm gonna keep it. I wanna do some splatters, and I'm sort of thinking of doing something dark like that. And I think I'm gonna do some black because there's a lot of black here, but there's not really any here. There's a tad here. I think I could get away with black splatters on this page. And I don't want to get it out here on the craft paper, I don't think. So let's cover that. Ooh, those are big splatters. Well, that added some depth or dimension, I guess. I've got my black here now, and I'm going to do a few black splatters as well. Hopefully I won't muck it up and hate it. Okay, I think we're ready for some embellishments. This is dry. And I've got a few little pieces here. I found one more piece of that great paper that we started with and basically covered up. There's a tiny bit right there. Yeah. And I found this one little piece of lace, which came off of a tank top, went through the dryer. And when it came out, I found all this lace and I thought, gosh, where did this lace come from? And it was the strap on the tank top and completely just been eaten in the wash. So there's that. I think that's nice. I think this is pretty with the scribbly writing. I've got a little tea bag here. Maybe we go like so. I don't know. And I've got this beautiful floral that picks up all of the colors that we've been using. And I think that looks nice together. So, I'm going to move it over a tab, but that's what I'm going to do. I don't know how I feel about this page. At first, I loved it. I was loving the colors. And it all kind of seemed like it went downhill after I did the stamp. I mean, it's not a disaster, but I don't know if it's going to be one of my favorite pages. We'll see. We shall see. I do like this flower, though. It's not very fall. Maybe I moved away from my idea of a fall color scheme. I don't know. Do I like that? Do I want that? Okay, I like that. Where's my little wax paper thing? There we go. Yeah. No. I want to bring these down the page. That's what I'm gonna do. I think that ties things together a little better. Oh, I missed one. Oh, I missed a few. You guys were probably all sitting there telling me that and I didn't hear you. Now, that feels better to me. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you back here soon. And you can also find me on Instagram at EB That's EB_mixed media. Have a great day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.